Kings and Queens, Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well, and you are loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated, and appreciated. So, these are questions that keep running through our minds, and I think for about some times now, we've talked about the reasons why African leaders seems helpless, seems useless to the plights of the motherland, why it seems like they cannot do anything. And it's true. Majority of them, their hands are tied. Not all of them. Okay, not all of them. There are some that could stand up and then make a radical decision, even although that moment things might be rough, but later on in the future, the nearest future, it won't be long, things will stabilize. There are African leaders that could do that. There are African countries that could stand up, come together. There are a few of them that could come together and make a decision that at the long run will have a positive effect on the whole of the continent. There are leaders like that could do that. They are learned, they are intelligent, they know what is what. But the painful thing is that these same leaders that could help the motherland are puppets. Now, there are countries in the motherland that their leaders cannot do anything. They are just there. So if there is anything positive that should happen, it should happen from the bigger countries and their leaders. So since the bigger countries and their leaders have become puppets, the smaller countries in the continent and their leaders cannot do anything. Their hands are tied. They can't cough, because they give them rules and regulation. Europe and America are directly involved in the rulership of most of the smaller countries in the continent. It's not just the smaller countries. The reason why I'm saying that is that for the countries that could stand as pillars, they have corrupted the leaders. And how do they corrupt leaders in the motherland? They use their weak points. They use their weaknesses. There might be something these leaders would have been involved in, and they might not be proud of it. These people know these things. So they take hold of the weakness of a leader and threaten the leader with it, like blackmailing. They blackmail most of our leaders that should be capable ones. Leaders of countries in the continent should be capable ones. They blackmail them and tie their legs with their weaknesses. So the moment they tie their legs with their weaknesses, they become puppets, because they are not the one ruling again. It is those who are blackmailing them that are ruling indirectly. You will see your leader coming out making statements. You'll be happy. Oh, the leadership is changed now. Things can work well. Before a leader becomes a leader in a country even, they have got done on the groundwork on these leaders. They have known their weakness. They have tried their best to get things about these leaders. Okay? And they involve them with money. Sometimes most of these are leaders that win elections. It is Europe and America that are involved. They help them with money to acquire, to go around for campaigns. Don't you ask yourself, why is it that when it comes to election time, our leaders have money? Where are they getting the money from? When our countries in the motherland, you hear debts that they are owing IMF so amount of dollars, millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and these politicians, they come share money around when it's time for campaign for elections. They get their money from Europe, they get their money from the French government, they get their money from the American government. This is what they do. So these are part of the things that tie their legs, and that's why bigger countries and leaders in the motherland that should stand up cannot stand up. And so it affects drastically the smaller countries and their leaders. Okay? So I want us to look at this. There are leaders who are willing, and this is where the issue of the Sahel comes in. Okay? Now, they really wanted, they thought that these military leaders that took over in the Sahel could be those leaders of smaller countries that would not be able to challenge the authority of Europe and America. And that's why it's a slap on their faces. They are still in shock. What is going on down the Sahel? They are still in shock. And that's why I would tell you categorically that it's not just by the power of these people. Yes, they had the will. Their plate was clean. And that's why the spirits could fight for them. Okay? The good forces could fight for them. The agreeable beings could support them because their plates are clean. They came in with good intentions and there's nothing on them. Do you think that if there was something on these Sahel leaders, by now they'll still be in seat? No, they wouldn't even have the liberty to ask Europe, America, and France to leave. They wouldn't have that liberty to ask French and American troops to leave. They will not have that guts to challenge the American government and the French government. So I want us to look at this and then we take it up, Your Majesties.
For anyone wondering why African leaders don't do anything about the theft of their resources or try to develop their countries, watch this video.
The kind of mineral resources we have in our country is enough to take care of everybody in that country. We should not have a single poor person in Sierra Leone. But unfortunately, we are not given the free will to make decisions on our own mineral resources. There's always Big Brother who decides. And when you fight and say, no, we are not going to do this, they use the system to stop you. It's either they set you up with the opposition and they'll be supporting the opposition against you from the back, or they cause unnecessary chaos in your country so that you are not able to even govern your own people. You have to have peace before you talk about development. I'll give you a simple example about Sierra Leone. Every mining company that is in Sierra Leone today is owned by a foreigner. Every mining company. If it's not the Chinese, it's the American, it's the British. Our electricity, Bumuda, is run by the British, and we still don't have light.
You heard that. You heard that. Sierra Leone is so wealthy that there should be no poor person. Like, the poorest person living on welfare can afford to take 2 vacations internationally a year on the government's dime. But you know who makes money off of Sierra Leone?
In a natural diamond mine right now. Here in this remote part of Sierra Leone, these guys are searching for diamonds.
Yep, that's who you think it is. It is none other than our favorite blood merchant. So let me explain how this goes. What this guy and his people do, they will go to Sierra Leone, they will buy weaponry, they will threaten the president and his wife. If you don't let us loot and steal your resources, we will unalive you and your family. If that's option 1. Option 2, if you don't let us loot and steal your resources, we will find a Judas and fund a civil war. Option 3, if they cannot find a Judas, they will find a reason to come in there and start their war. They make you sign things. They have people watching. Why can they not give a license to a local? Because if you give a license to a local, he will sell it on the market. He will use that money to develop his country. And the people of the country cannot see what their resources it can do for them. The moment they give a mining right to a local from Sierra Leone, they will get unalived or a civil war will start. The moment they decide to build an electronics company, to build company to give them free light, like the West has, they will get unalived or a civil war will start. The moment they decide to do anything that will benefit their country, they will get unalived, their children will get unalived or a civil war will start. And this guy, if you go to this address here, that's where you'll find this guy. He funds stuff like this.
Your Majesties, it's unfortunate that the motherland is in the situation that she is in. You see, our case is a complicated one. And why did it become this way? Why did it become this way? Because we trusted people we should not trust. And why do you think Africa became so open to trust the enemy so much? It's glaring. Religion. When the enemy comes in the disguise of, I am your brother, I am a Muslim. Because you say, oh, this is my brother, he's a Muslim. The Quran has said that we should do this, we should do that irrespective of color. as a melanated man, you think like that. In short, they will point it to you. We are brothers and sisters. And then you accept them. Nothing is in your heart, wholeheartedly. But they came with a mission. They know that this is the way, the perfect way to get into you, to steal from you, to succeed. This was how they came in. The enemy comes to you because he's a Christian. In short, he's a children he's from Israel, children of Abraham. Those Zionists, they will come. Immediately you hear they are from Israel, you bow down and worship them. Okay? Not even knowing that these are Europeans that they packed and arranged them there in 1948. You don't know that because you don't want to do, you don't want to know. Your own is to just say, okay, the Bible have say. And there you go. These people come in, they take advantage. In your heart, you love them wholeheartedly, you do everything you do with them genuinely. But in their own hearts, they came with a mission. And gradually, they succeeded. This was how they took advantage of us. Religion, if you like, accept it or not. Religion. And that's why we are in the mess we are in today. It's difficult to cut out, to pull out. Because up until today, the moment people hear that this man is Israeli, the other man who was talking about God gave Africans diamonds and gave them the desire. The moment some people hear that this one is from Israel, they will say it's true. What he's saying is true. People will believe it blindly, like, come on, what is wrong with what is wrong with us? These are questions that I keep asking. It keeps running in my mind. What is happening? We have to break that chain. Oh. We have to pull out by force, remove it by force from our eyes. Those things they have used to block our eyes and our brains. Will it be painful? Yes, it will be painful. But it is worth it. If not, all those children you have and you keep giving birth to, they will suffer more than what we are suffering now. And that's why I keep telling you, don't just do things for yourself. Remember tomorrow and your descendants. Your ancestors did something, and that's why we could have a little fresh air to breathe right now. That's why we could have people in the Sahel who agitate because their ancestors did something. Now, what are you doing so that those who are coming after you will have some little, even if it's no matter how little it is, what is that thing you are doing? We need to ask ourselves this question. If not, there is no way out. Your Majesties, there is no way out. These people have tied the legs, the hands, the brain, the way our legs, our hands and brains are tied. The ones of those who are leading us is tied times 2. Remember what we're talking about Dangote refinery? How Dangote cannot even mine the crude oil of the Nigerian people. Dangote is a Nigerian. He cannot mine. He cannot mine the crude oil in Nigeria. He cannot mine Nigeria's crude oil. Dangote will have to take permission from the US government. Not just permission, he had to buy crude oil in dollars. The crude oil that is in the motherland, Dangote will have to pay the US government in dollars. He have to buy in dollars before he can mine, because the crude oil is not even for Nigeria again. The US government have taken over. Why do you think that the collective West is trying everything possible to make our currencies useless? Why do you think that the collective West is making it possible to tie African countries with loan from IMF? Loan that they know that they will not be able to pay back. Instead of giving our leaders way out to think on how to pull themselves out of debt, they'll always tie them, give them loans and make them lazy. Our leaders don't think again. The moment there is nothing, instead of them to think and re-strategize, they go to IMF to collect money. And when this money comes, they share this money amongst themselves, but change their private jets. You heard that one in Nigeria now, the Nigerian Senate, how much they make every year as salaries for as a senator in Nigeria. The money was almost more than 40,000 US dollars. That's around 40 billion naira. Because apart from their salary, they have allowances for everything. They have furniture allowances every month. Is it every month that furnitures are changed, Your Majesties? if we'll be frank and tell ourselves the truth. But when you look at these laws that were implemented, look at the history of those laws. Why should senators in Nigeria receive such amount of money? You will discover that it's either a European that planned that thing out. A European was the one that planned that thing out to turn them, make them useless so that they don't use their brains to think again. And that's why in this era, this 21st century, we have a country like Nigeria rejecting national anthem that was composed by their own brothers and accepting the anthem that a European woman composed. In this 21st century where we are trying to cut out from colonialism. We have a long way to go. And like he said, like Issa said, we shouldn't rely on our leaders for everything. Because when you look at their end, they can't do anything. If we keep relying on them, we'll be destroyed. It is individually we have to start working. We have to start putting heads together to look for solution and to look for way out. If not, there is no way out for us if we don't start to work as individuals and not look at the government. Let's look at ourselves as individuals and try our best to also help this government, because they are hypnotized. They are not thinking straight. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, your majesties. Bye for now.